Hello there everybody, Rediscover here, and today I'm back with another Minecraft video. And in today's video, I tried to recreate 2b2t. So I decided to make an Anarchy server where there's no rules and hacking is allowed, and this is what happened in just 5 days, or 100 hours. And this is going to be a little longer than usual, so just grab some popcorn or something to eat and enjoy the video. So now I would like to tell you guys what I did before I made the server go live. So the first thing that I did at spawn was make a nether portal with a sign on it saying go in only if you dare. And I did this so that people can maybe go into the nether and go far away if they'd want to. And then I thought that it would be good if I made it daytime only, because I can't get one person's sleep to work on here. So I made it so that it will be daytime only, and I made it so that the weather will always stay clear by using the /weather clear command for a millisecond. The final thing that I did before making the server go live was put an entire double chest filled with TNT to help the destruction along. Right after setting up spawn, I put out a community post saying that the server is live and the IP of it and some rules. And I have also made it so that T-Launcher players can join the server by turning off online mode. And about 55% of people were interested, and this was the beginning of the Anarchy server. After about 30 minutes of the community post being up, we got the first ever person to join our Anarchy server, and his name was Corgius. I instantly told him that there was a chest waiting for him at spawn, and he soon got to work. After he got the TNT, he started placing them down everywhere in lines, and this was the start of the destruction. The explosion that you're about to see now is the first ever explosion on the server. Although not the biggest explosion, but an explosion nonetheless. And then he asked me for some end crystals, so I decided to give him, and this was the first ever end crystal explosion. And he was on for actually quite a few hours, and he got to work by destroying the entirety of spawn by putting TNT everywhere and exploding it with the flint and steel provided. He was also actually the first ever hacker on our server. I'm not sure what type of hacks he has, but all I know is that it allows him to jump quite high, and another one that he has allows him to dig around himself when he's standing still. I've never seen that before, and I know you guys can let me know where it's from or why it's used. And another hack that he uses is a auto block placer or auto bridger, I'm not really sure, but as he walks along, it automatically places blocks under himself. And after he had some fun with walking around placing TNT under himself using his hacks, he decided to light it, creating the first actually decent sized explosion on the server and creating a little crater next to spawn. And just after an hour and a half of the server going live, we see the first ever alliance forming. With full diamond armor and protection, we have Corgius and Pro Terran 2003. So these two are the first ever alliance to form on this Anarchy server, and we can see them in this dungeon, probably looting it for the loot and XP. After starting a live stream on the server, we got a lot more people to join, and after telling them to hack, we got our first ever flying hacker, Grey 2 Pass. As you guys can see, I don't know what client he uses, but he is the first ever hacker to fly on this server. And to be honest, he did actually get kicked a lot because I forgot to turn off flying on the server game rules. After I hopped back onto the overworld, I saw some trades happening for some diamonds and water buckets apparently, and some end crystals. And then after that, chaos ensued with PvP everywhere, people blowing up everything, and spawn being absolutely decimated. And trust me, at one point, the chat was filled with people dying. Just soon after, we saw lava casts being made, although not the most big or spectacular ones, which we'll see later in the video. These were the first beginnings of the lava casts, and they were made by Almighty TY21. And he also made some weird lava pillars, which I think are supposed to be lava casts but aren't full. And yeah, I don't know what to call them, but we have random pillars in the middle of spawn. And now I'll show you guys the decimation that happened to spawn just after 12 hours of the server going live. And this is all the damage that had been done. Although it might not seem like a lot, it will add up, and you'll see how much happens later in the video. But this is how the spawn looks like after 12 hours of it going live. Day 2 on the server started off a little weird as I was not in the game, but when I was just checking the console out on the server hosting website Scalacube, I saw something interesting and I saw two people, Yegnis and EI Chow now, talking about building a secret base. And this really intrigued me, so I instantly went on and logged on to Minecraft to see what base they're talking about and how the first ever secret base in our 2b2t looks like. So after logging on to Minecraft, I was greeted to an underground full-on 2b2t style secret base. So it was underground, they had netherite armor, an enchanting table, a bed, a nether portal, and it was like an entire basic base underground with some chests, farms. They have a sugarcane farm, a normal crop farm, a nether wart farm, and a brewing station. So they actually did have a lot of things, and this was a full-on base and the first ever hidden base on our server. And they both actually were the first ever people on the server to have full enchanted netherite armor. Don't know if it was hacked in or duplicated, but those people are the first ever ones to have full netherite armor. And day 2 was also the first ever time that we got to see griefing happening to other people's bases. So as you guys can see, they found a little base and they sadly filled it up with TNT and blew it up and left no trace of the previous base. And that was all the interesting things that happened on day 2, but here is an update on spawn and how it looks like about 36 hours into the server going live. And as you guys can see, we actually get to see a new big lava cast starting to form as some sort of a monument at spawn. Day 3 on the server was super interesting, and as you guys can see, the tiny little monument from yesterday has become this massive Goliath pillar, reaching the levels of the clouds of Minecraft. And on top of that was a little surprise, and it was a little shrine. It was at the toppest of the monument, and as I took a little look inside, what I found was a lot of new information. This monument had a little community chest off to the side with some trash in it, a furnace, and 2 lecterns. And the first one is a message to me, and you guys can pause and read both of them. And at the center, we see a dragon head and signs telling us that the Ender Dragon was killed twice already, just in the 3rd day of the server going live. And under this monument, there's a little hidden base. So then I decided to go to the end and take a look, and lo and behold, the portal at the center was open and the egg was actually missing, meaning they had actually killed the Ender Dragon. And there were actually 2 portal gateways, meaning that they actually did kill it twice in the span of just 3 days, which is quite astounding to me. And then I got some news that a new big base was being built, and this was the base that they've been talking about, and they are the people who actually owned the egg. Yes, they were the people who killed the Ender Dragon, and that is the only dragon egg in the entire server. And they have also informed me that they actually found 2 pig step discs, which they were really proud of, and this was the egg on the pedestal. And since this egg is actually one of a kind, I decided that it would be best off protecting it with barrier blocks. So I went around and I placed barrier blocks all around it so that nobody could actually break it, because I wanted them to have it as they were the only people to actually kill the Ender Dragon in this entire series, and they deserve to keep the egg all well and protected. And the people who actually killed the Ender Dragon also helped me show you guys some more bases, as this was another base super far away from spawn. And they also showed me another base, but it was a really small one, and they called it a small tingo, which I think was a spelling mistake, but was absolutely one of the cutest things ever. And this is how spawn looks like just after 3 days. And there was a weird little railway path, as you guys can see, leading to nowhere, and there were more lava casts popping up, and of course we have the massive lava cast at the center, which I would like to call the monument of this entire series, as it was by far the biggest thing in this entire server. And as you guys can see, it almost goes from bedrock to sky limit and is absolutely massive with a shrine on top. And the damage being done on the server at spawn is quite astounding, and this is how it looked like at the end of day 3. And as I was looking at the console again, I saw that there were some people arguing and that some person actually had stolen the dragon head, which was actually a quite scummy move by whoever did that. And yeah, so they actually stole the dragon head. And if you guys remember the base from before, this is actually another replica of the base, and if we go under it, they have another new secret base under here, but the entire thing up there is actually entirely recreated, as the previous one actually blew up and got grief. But because I protected the egg, they asked me to kindly remove the barrier blocks around it so that they could get the egg back and move it to the new one, and I actually did that, and I put bedrock under it instead as a new pedestal, which I thought looked cool. And then they led me to a building in an inappropriate shape, which I'm not gonna say on here, which seems to be a mob farm, and they put TNT all over it and absolutely destroyed it like it should have been. And I don't know why anybody in the right mind would actually ever build this on a server. However, it was actually totally obliterated, and all left was just little water streams like that. Logging in after a few hours, I see that they have finished their base. This was by far the biggest and the most complete base in the entire server, and as you guys can see, I did protect the egg with bedrock. And if we take a look under, they have completely finished their hidden base with a wall of shulker boxes and a farm off to the side. And by far, this is the most safe base in the entirety of the Anarchy server. And this is how spawn looked like after 4 days of the server being live. By far, this is the biggest change. As you guys can see, a lot of spawn is all the way down to bedrock, and we see water everywhere, massive lava casts. We see that the massive monument at spawn is almost blown up, and yeah, so absolutely this is the most damage done to spawn from the beginning. And we see a massive crater, and the only things that remained were the water from the rivers that once flowed through the center of spawn. And on the final day before I turn off the server, I saw this tiny little base pop up. Although incomplete, it was quite unique as the floor was made out of half slabs and everything was under it. And I've never seen anything like this before, and it was quite weird. And they had a little sugarcane farm off to the side. And as I looked around the server a bit more before shutting it down, I saw this beautiful arena being built, and it seems to be a PvP arena with 2 sides, and this is an absolute work of art, and I think this looks super cool. And it's built by Kurka. And we saw the first ever full beacon, and it was made out of full netherite. I'm pretty sure they had to dupe this, and they somehow managed to get bedrock. And this is actually spawn after 5 days of the Anarchy server. And there was destruction everywhere, and there were massive lava casts, and that massive chunk error, or people actually made that, and I think we can call spawn absolutely decimated. And you guys can see what is left of the massive monument and the little shrine at spawn, and there's weird blocks floating everywhere. And I actually killed myself to see where spawn is, and that where the bedrock floor is actually spawn, and they managed to destroy everything. And that is the first nether portal that I started off with, and that is the full-size beacon made out of full netherite blocks. And this is the final look at the server right before it shut down. And guys, this is a quick little time lapse of the before and after, and on the left we have the before and on the right we have the after, so enjoy the quick little time lapse. So you guys, that was pretty much it, and that was what happened when I tried recreating 2B2T by making an Anarchy server in just 5 days. And if you guys do like this series and want me to continue it, I will continue it, because it was a whole bunch of fun to make, and I hope you guys liked it and hope you enjoyed it. If you guys did actually like the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, as it really does help out the channel, and it also really does mean a lot to me. And if you guys made it this far, why don't you comment down below, discount 2B2T to let me know that you've made it all the way to here, and I will be sure to heart your comment. And guys, before I end off this video, I would like to say a massive thank you to Kurka Gamer YT and Panther Rage YT for staying on the server for almost every single day. And yeah guys, that's been pretty much it. If you guys like the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, as it really does help out the channel and also really does mean a lot to me. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.